Hey everyone, welcome back to Alex's podcast. Today we have to get straight to the point about a story that's both darkly funny and genuinely deadly serious. It involves Trump and the sudden death of Lindsey Graham. Trump wasted no time turning his so-called friend's passing into a massive publicity stunt for the Save America Act, the bill he claims will save our stolen elections. This is blowing up right now because Graham died unexpectedly after a trip to Ukraine, and Trump jumped on every microphone he could find, from Meet the Press to CNN, recounting Graham's final phone call about the legislation and lamenting what a heavy blow this is to his priority bill. It's exploitation at its most cynical. Let's break down what the Save America Act actually is. Also known as the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, it demands strict proof of citizenship for voter registration, tough voter ID rules, heavy restrictions on mail-in ballots, and more. It squeaked through the House but is dead in the water in the Senate without 60 votes to beat the filibuster. Trump has been obsessed, threatening to block other legislation and demanding Republicans nuke the filibuster to ram it through. Graham supported parts of it, but repeatedly warned that most GOP senators didn't want to torch that Senate safeguard. Yet Trump now claims Graham was coming aboard and ready to end the filibuster. Classic revisionism. The timeline here is telling. From the start of 2026, Trump pushed this bill relentlessly, even sabotaging other deals to force it forward. Graham backed some elements but understood the filibuster reality. Then, after Graham's trip to Ukraine, he passes away, and suddenly Trump is out there saying, "We must pass it in his honor." Mike Lee echoed the same call. This isn't honoring anyone. It's cold, calculated political theater using grief to advance an extremist agenda that weakens voting access for millions. From a pro-democracy lens, this is a direct threat to everything we hold dear. Trump and MAGA keep repeating the baseless lie about non-citizen voters rigging elections on a massive scale. There is zero credible evidence for what they describe. Instead, this bill would throw up barriers that hit hardest at people of color, low-income families, seniors, and students groups that tend to vote Democratic. Voter ID sounds reasonable until you see the full package. Stricter paperwork, fewer mail options, and aggressive purges. It's voter suppression dressed up as integrity. The most outrageous part is how Trump is exploiting Graham's death. Graham, who once opposed Trump at times, called him tired from that long flight, still talking about the SAVE Act. Trump recounts it like Graham was some final warrior for election purity. In reality, Graham served as Trump's Senate whisperer, smoothing over tensions when the boss demanded filibuster destruction. Now that he's gone, Trump smells blood in the water, and MAGA is already chanting, "Pass it to honor him." If they truly wanted to honor Graham, they'd protect every American's right to vote instead of building walls around the ballot box. Legally, this move is dangerous on multiple levels. The filibuster exists to protect minority voices in the Senate. Eliminating it just to force this bill through would create a precedent for endless rule-changing revenge cycles, destabilizing our entire legislative system. The SAVE Act itself invites lawsuits under the Voting Rights Act and Equal Protection Clause because it disproportionately burdens vulnerable communities. Trump knows it's a tough sell, so he's pulling every lever: budget threats, must-pass attachments, and now emotional manipulation from a senator's passing. This whole spectacle reveals MAGA's deep panic. American democracy is still functioning, and they can't win on ideas or popularity, so they're changing the rules. The Save America Act isn't about saving elections. It's about saving Trump and Republicans from facing the will of real voters. Graham may have been shifting, as Trump claims, but he was always pragmatic. With him gone, the Senate GOP loses a bridge builder who could occasionally work across the aisle. Expect Trump to double down on extremism. Look at the bigger picture. This isn't isolated. It's part of a sustained assault on voting rights, court-packing attempts in spirit, and attacks on institutions that check power. By undermining confidence in elections through lies and barriers, they consolidate control for one man's ambitions. Ambitions we've seen play out in dangerous ways before. Everyday Americans, especially in marginalized communities, will pay the price with suppressed voices and eroded trust. We cannot let sadness or fake patriotism blind us. The SAVE Act threatens the foundation of our republic by making it harder for citizens to participate. It suppresses turnout, fuels division, and hands power to those who fear a full, fair democracy. History shows these tactics don't strengthen nations, they fracture them. We must stay vigilant, call out the hypocrisy, and demand real election protections that expand access, not restrict it. This is why we do this show, to cut through the noise, expose the threats, and empower you with truth. Share this episode, talk to your neighbors, contact your senators, and vote like democracy depends on it, because it does. The Maisala spirit lives on in pushing back hard against MAGA overreach. Democracy belongs to the people, not to Trump or his enablers. Stand firm, stay informed, and we'll keep fighting together. Thanks for joining me today on Minimax. If this fired you up or opened your eyes, hit that like, subscribe, and drop a comment on what democracy means to you. Until next time, this is Dr. Alex reminding you, truth over lies, access over barriers, and people over power. Stay strong out there.